What's up, everybody? I bought this laptop about maybe 3 years ago, and I bought it secondhand. And I bought it to play Fortnite with my son once he started playing. We've been having a lot of fun with it, and it's been working great. What I did notice though recently is that the C drive is getting pretty full. And when I looked into it, the C drive is only 128 gigs, and it's got about 120 gigs full. And so now that I've been doing more video editing, I find that the C drive kind of fills up with like temp files. And so I did some research, and this computer has an M.2 drive as its primary drive, and it seems like it's pretty easy to upgrade and replace with a larger drive. And I found a method for doing it without having to reinstall Windows or re-put in my registration keys. I'm just going to clone the drive, and then I'll have a new drive that's much larger. What I'm going to be doing here is I'm using this M.2 SSD enclosure. I think that if I had a second M.2 slot, I could just use that instead, but in my case I don't, and so I'm using the enclosure. I picked up a WD Black. It's a 1 terabyte drive, so it should be plenty big for what I'm doing. And what I found out is that there are two types of hard drives that fit in that M.2 slot. One is the SATA style, SATA, and one is NMVE, which is much faster, uses a different, maybe a different bus. And so I ended up getting the NMVE drive for this, and my current drive is a SATA drive. So I'm expecting that it should be much more fast, as well as a ton more capacity. I'm going to get started, and one more thing. I also am going to use this software, Macrium Reflect. I'll show you more as we get closer, but I'm going to unbox this stuff. This is my very first time doing it, and we'll see how it goes. The first thing I'm going to do is install the drive, install the new drive inside my SSD enclosure so that I can clone the drive that's on the computer. I'm going to zoom in and I'll show you how I install it. So the SSD enclosure comes with some cables and some screws. It also comes with this heat sink sort of adhesion stuff. And a screwdriver. And so I think what it looks like you do is you unscrew the enclosure cover. Pull this out. Alright. And then you install the drive. Nice. And then the instructions have me securing it with this little rubber stopper. So this one here. Oh, that's what it is. Let's see. Okay. And then it has me installing this heat shrink or heat seal. Take off both sides. So this little rubber stopper. Oh, there it goes. Then I'm going to put the cover back on. to screw the cover back on with the screw. Alright, so it also comes with two cords, two USB cables. One is USB-C to USB-C, and then the other one is USB-C to the original style USB. I have USB-C port, so I'm going to use that. It should be faster. One end goes here, and then the other end will go into my computer, and I'll show you that next. Okay, so I'm going to connect the USB enclosure to my computer, and so you'll see that once I connect it, I'm going to bring up the disk management and you'll see that it shows up. So I'm going to go to manage, disk management, and you can see here that this new disk shows up. It's disk 2 here, and it's unallocated and hasn't been initialized yet. Because I'm cloning the drive, I'm not going to initialize it because the cloning software will take care of all that for me. But I'm showing you that it recognizes it and it's here. I'm going to cancel that, and then what I'm also going to do here, so my cloning software that I'm using is Macrium Reflect, and so you can get it from the web page here, macrium.com, and you can go to like downloads, and the version that I'm using is, let's see, it's Reflect 8 Home Trial. It's a 30-day free trial, and it includes the disk cloning. It also includes a bunch of other great functionality that you could find useful. And if you do find it useful, you can just purchase it. But for me, I'm just going to do the disk cloning for now, and then I'll see if there's anything else that I'm interested in. So I'm going to open up the Reflect software. And then, so now you can see that I have 3 different disks. I have disk 1, which is kind of like my data drive, and it's got all like the game files or video files that I'm working on. And then disk 2 is actually, it holds my operating system, and because it's a Dell, it's got some like, reinstallation files and other tools that come with the Dell software. And so this disk is the disk that I'm going to clone. And then disk 3 is the new drive that we just put in the enclosure. So I'm going to select disk 2, and I can see that all of my different partitions are all checked off. And I'm going to click on clone this disk, and then I'm going to choose the destination, which is going to be my disk 3. And because this new disk is much bigger than the old disk, I'm going to choose copy partitions, and then I'm going to say shrink or extend to fill the target disk. And that will basically take my operating system and make use of all the extra space. So now that I have it all set up, I'm going to click on next. And you could schedule this at night if I wanted to. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to click next. And then I get a summary of what is going to happen as part of this clone. And so all of these different operations are going to happen where it's copying each different partition over. And I'm going to click on finish. And I'm going to run this now. I'm not going to save a backup definition file because I don't think it's necessary for me here. And then I'm going to click OK. And then it's going to get started. And so my original drive is, like I said, is 128 gigs. So it shouldn't take too long, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so the cloning is complete. It took about 15 minutes. Click OK here. And now you can see disk 3 has the same partitions as disk 2. So I'm going to close out of all of this, and then I'm going to uninstall the original drive, install the new drive, and we'll boot it up. All right, so this is the moment of truth. Looks like it's doing something. It sounds like because I just cloned the drive, it may take a little time to kind of recognize things, but it should come up to speed. I'm going to log in here. And it looks like it's back to it. I'm going to zoom in here so that you can see what the drive looks like. All right, so you can see that now I have my new disk one, which holds my operating system, and you can see that it has almost 1 terabyte worth of data, available data, and so it copied over fine. I didn't have to reinstall Windows or re-enter any of my license keys or anything like that. It just recognized it because it was a clone of the drive. So I'm gonna try and run the system, maybe play a little Fortnite, and see that everything's working fine, and then I'll get back to you. So I was able to upgrade my main drive in my gaming laptop from 128 gigs to 1 terabyte drive without reinstalling Windows or reinstalling any of the software. It was a pretty easy swap out, and not only do I have a lot more storage capacity, the new drive is much faster than it was before. I hope you enjoyed the content. Please like, comment, and subscribe. There's much more to come. Thank you very much.